Since 2002, we've been fortunate to be led by Chancellor Doug Christensen. In his time as Chancellor, our campus has grown both in quality of students and instruction. And it's impossible to miss the physical growth as you walk through campus. We're grateful to have Chancellor Christensen joining us today, and it is my pleasure to introduce him to all of you. Chancellor Christensen.
Good afternoon, welcome. How much fun is this? I mean, really, it's the end of October. There isn't any snow that's been flying. It's been 80 degrees this week. Great football game tomorrow, and a wonderful alumni luncheon today. I mean, this is why I come to work. So, thank you all for being here. I looked at the program. There's so many more important people than me to speak that I want to hear from, but I just want to give you a brief overview of where campus is at. We're on a tremendous trajectory. Last night was my favorite night of the year, lip sync. Oh, it's incredible to see that many students, high energy, song and dance routine. I even knew some of the songs that were there. And better yet, there were 70 songs that they knew, so I thought that was even better. But we really are on a great trajectory. And so much of it is due to the faculty and staff who work here every day. It's also due to Board of Regents members. And I see Bob and Margene Ferris here. Bob and Margene, thank you for coming. Bob is ending his term as a Board of Regents. He has been a rock star for us. And Bob, I just want to publicly thank you one more time for everything you've done for us. You've made us a better institution. If you look down at University Village, you'll see the parable. You might see a new clock on campus. You may see a new water feature. In a few minutes, we're going to take world-famous Mark Lundin, we're going to go dedicate the Loper. All of those are wonderful pieces of art that add to our campus and enrich it. It's for so many people. This is a time of their life, and there are students out there. They probably don't know this luncheon is going on. They will someday. And you're great role models for all of them. And so with that, welcome to the Alumni Luncheon. Thank you so much for being here. And I think as Coach Josh Lynn said last night, go Lopers.
Thank you, Chancellor. Now I'd like to introduce Lucas Gart, a 1997 UNK graduate and the Vice President of Alumni Relations and Development for the UNK Alumni Association and University of Nebraska Foundation. Lucas?
It's so great to have all of you here. Homecoming is kind of the pinnacle of alumni engagement activity for our team. And last night we had a Loper Alumni quarterly event that we've done during homecoming week now for several years, and we had Dr. Nathan Ty, one of our history professors, talk to us a little bit about how did homecoming start? What did that look like on our campus? He took a deep dive on some of the history of our campus. I learned things. I've been doing this a long time. I learned a lot of really cool things. It's sort of inspiring when you think about what that was, which is a handful of people in the mid-19 teens, to what we have now, and then how the institution has changed. And so much to see, so much to talk about. I'm not going to do that right now, but I would encourage you to look around campus while you're here, whether you're an alum and you've been here before or you're guests. I think there's a lot to appreciate. But it's certainly a chance for us to introduce people who are leading the campus, as well as current and past recipients of alumni recognition. So with that, I want to thank the folks from the leadership at campus who are here. I want to introduce you. So I would ask the audience to hold your applause if you feel it's due at the end. After we're done introducing, and those of you I named, please stand up and remain standing. We have Mark Reed, the Dean of the College of Education. Paul Twig, Interim Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. Tim Jarris, Dean of the College of Business and Technology. Evan Boyd, Dean of the Library. George Holman, Interim Dean of Students. John Falconer, Senior Advisor to the Chancellor. Kelly Barkley, Vice Chancellor for Enrollment Management and Marketing. John Watts, Vice Chancellor for Business and Finance. If I've left anybody else, feel free to stand up, but these are your leadership at UNK. We also have the privilege of welcoming back past award recipients. And so, same deal. You guys follow instructions well. I'm going to name the past recipients of awards who are here with us today. Please stand as your name is called and remain standing. Jim Runstrom. Bob Ferris. Dave Farrell. Karen Rhodes. John Wolf. Marilyn McGann and Bill McGann. Don Clark. Gene Lukish. Dr. Angela Holman and Travis Holman. Roger Jones. Laverne Franzen. Jerry Dulitz and Nancy Dulitz. Brenda Christensen. Becky Faber. Mark Lindeen. Pete Katsiopoulos and Jane Katsiopoulos. Please recognize these outstanding members. Got a lot to cover today. I think you're going to enjoy it, but for now, let's not so much. We'll be back with you.
Thanks to the UNK Communications team, we had the opportunity to share a glimpse of campus life with you. Enjoy.
UNK is a special place.
I would not be the person I am today. I would not be where I am today without the people that I've met over the past 3 years here at UNK. And that includes peers, students, faculty, staff.
People matter in UNK. When we work together, we're really at our best, and that's the strength of this campus, is when people work together for the best interest of the students.
And the students are extremely appreciative. I'm saying to you, after class, the first year it was a little concerning and kind of weird, and then now it's just kind of old hat. Teaching at Lincoln and in Omaha before, I didn't see that.
Issues come up, whether that's issues with physical construction or finding new programs or finding ways to serve students in new ways. And the number one solution that you see time and time again at UNK to find those solutions is through collaboration.
When people come together, great things happen. We've got the new STEM building, Discovery Hall. I think many of those departments have been working together better than they have in years. We've got bigger collaborations with UNK, UNC. We've got rural health education complex going up.
New grand openings, the tennis centers, the Element 30, all of these things really add to the momentum. It's good to come back to campus, they bring that energy, that excitement. The freshmen bring that new sense of vitality.
We need to be part of the university community as well. Go to those sporting events that you probably haven't been to since you can. Go to a performing arts event. Participate in a panel discussion. Go to that public lecture. Engage with these events that we have on campus.
Being bold means putting yourself out there. If you're an upperclassman or if you're a staff or a faculty member, introducing yourself and making those networking connections, you never know what opportunities can come from that.
Boldness is essential for education. grow as a person without taking some risk.
Part of it is dare to dream. We just started to dream on this campus. What could we do?
Anybody ready to run through the wall for the campus now? As you can see, there's so much to celebrate at the University of Nebraska at Kearney, and that's what this weekend is all about. In addition to today's awards luncheon, 6 new members of the UNK Athletic Hall of Fame will be inducted tonight. And there's a full day of celebration happening tomorrow. It truly is a great time to be a local. It's my pleasure to now introduce Helke Meyer, a 2012 and 2019 UNK graduate and president of the UNK Alumni Association's League Council. Helke?
Good afternoon. Our distinguished alumni are making a difference every day. Whether they've excelled in their careers, given back to our communities, or Team UNK, and most of these folks have done it all, they deserve our appreciation and recognition. Congratulations to you honorees. Your careers and accomplishments have earned you this distinction, and I'm looking forward to learning more about and hearing from each of you this afternoon. Thank you for being tremendous role models for all of us. I hope you truly enjoy this special day and the rest of the weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Helke. It is now my honor to welcome our newest class of distinguished alumni. As each of our recipients are recognized, I'll ask that you come to the stage during your introduction. We'll start with our Distinguished Alumni Award recipients. I'd like to invite our first recipient, Greg Christensen, to the stage. As a Kearney State College Scout Residence Hall desk assistant, Greg Christensen learned the value of daily student interactions. And he also learned to operate the switchboard and room intercoms back before everyone had a phone. When he wasn't working or studying, he enjoyed his downtime with fellow hallmates, going to basketball games, and even took in the John Denver concert on campus. After graduating summa cum laude from Kearney State College in 1975 with a degree in distributive education, the Grand Island native started his career in a high school classroom in Cozad, teaching marketing and business classes, where many of the students fondly referred to him as Mr. C. In 1983, Greg moved to Lincoln and joined the Nebraska Department of Education, where he spent the next 35 years. While there, he served as entrepreneurship, education, work-based learning, and special project specialist, entrepreneurship and career education specialist, the director of marketing education, and the state advisor for Nebraska DECA. He also earned his master's in vocational education at this same time. A couple of the projects that he was instrumental in developing are the Nebraska Workplace Experiences Continuum and the Nebraska Career Cluster's virtual business industry tours. Greg was also the lead facilitator or co-facilitator for 40-plus Nebraska school districts' revision strategic planning meetings. To help them gain a better perspective of how college students were preparing to enter the profession as business teachers, he took a one-year leave of absence in 1998 from the Department of Education to serve as a senior lecturer at University of Nebraska South, or University of Wisconsin South, excuse me. He also served as adjunct instructor at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln in 1999. He continues to serve on the Nebraska Entrepreneurship Task Force, as well as the Nebraska Entrepreneurship Best Practices Summit Planning Committee. Since 1984, Greg has served as a consultant and leadership management trainer for Primetime Associates and Legacy Leadership Unlimited, focusing on strengths-based leadership development. Greg is a Clifton Strengths and Builder Profile 10 coach and mentor. Greg's dedication to entrepreneurial education has been recognized with several honors and awards, including the University of Nebraska College of Business Entrepreneurial Advocate Award, Consortium for Entrepreneurship Education Hall of Fame Award, Nebraska Hall of Fame, Greg Christensen Distinguished Service Award, the DECA Honorary Life Membership, along with many more. Perhaps Greg's most important achievements include the impact he has made on former students and coworkers, and the lifelong relationships made along the way. Now retired, Greg spends time traveling to museums and historical sites across the United States. He is an avid reader and volunteers for the Golden Retriever Rescue in Nebraska. Please join me in honoring Greg Christensen.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm so grateful and humbled to receive this award. And I do want to give some special thanks to Tricia Danberg, the UNK Alumni Association staff, the lead council, and the committee volunteers for their tireless efforts to make this event and all of the homecoming activities possible. Special thanks also to Dr. Rebecca Faber at the table here, last year's recipient of the College of Education Alumni Award, a dear friend and former teaching colleague, were nominated. Thank you also to my sister Rayanne Christensen and niece Amy Darris and her husband Jason for being here to share in the event. Your love and your support mean more than I can say. You've kind of heard the whole array of experiences. Let me just highlight a few things. I was allowed, because of the launch that UNK gave me, and by the way, it used to be called Kearney State College back in the old days. So, I don't think we can go back, sorry. UNK really prepared me because the professors were personal with you. They knew you as an individual, as a student, but more importantly, a valued member of the Kearney State College UNK community. 8 years in COSAD, I was able to teach with some of the best teachers in the world, and I truly mean that. They were my mentors, my friends, and a tireless support system. In 1983, as was mentioned, I joined the Department of Education, and there again, I was blessed with individuals who really cared about what happened to Nebraska, with students, with the parents, with the business community, and to make Nebraska stronger. One of my colleagues, Patsy Coe-Johns, who's now on the, well, actually serving as president of the Board of Education, I just want to give you a couple quotes from her that I think encapsulates how I feel also. She said, in order to teach your students, you have to be open to learning. And boy, you learn a lot as a high school teacher. Every time, and one more quote, every time a former student communicates that I made a difference in their lives, it is one of my greatest professional achievements. And I truly, truly am blessed to still hear from students, not just through social media, but phone calls and letters and texts. And I just want to say that there's no better profession than teaching. And so, again, thank you. And by the way, I want to give a shout out to Pete Katsiopoulos, because I got to work with him when he was with the university in entrepreneurial efforts, and Pete, again, was a great mentor. So I think I used up my 1 to 2 minutes that Tricia said to get off the stage afterwards. So thank you very much.
It is my honor to invite Lucas Dark and our next recipient, Dan O'Neill, to the stage. The O'Neill section over there. Running tables.
You're being pretty quiet today for O'Neill's. I'm proud of you. Dan O'Neill is a graduate of Sumner Eddyville Miller and was a member of Phi Kappa Tau during his time at Kearney State College. graduated in 1981 with a degree in business. Come on up here so they can get a good look at you. Right there. Dan worked for Cashway Distributing Company in Kearney for 15 years following graduation, before joining Quick Stop convenience stores in 1996 as Director of Operations. Today, Dan is the President and CEO of Quick Stop, a privately owned chain of 28 stores in Nebraska and Colorado with corporate offices in North Platte. Dan and his wife Judy, also a UNK graduate, reside in North Platte and have 3 sons and 2 daughters. It was suggested that the Rotary motto, service above self, is a fitting description of Dan's service to his community, state, and university. He serves on numerous boards, including the Museum of Nebraska Art Board of Directors, University of Nebraska Foundation Board of Trustees, Nebraska Public Media Foundation Board of Directors, First National Bank, Omaha, North Platte Ranch Advisory Board, University of Nebraska Medical Center Board of Counselors, Mid-Nebraska Community Foundation Board, Catholic Diocese of Grand Island Finance Board, and the Great Plains Health Board of Directors. He's also active in the North Platte New Rotary, Heartland Singers, St. Patrick's Catholic Church, North Platte Community Playhouse, and numerous other community organizations. Is that picture of you acting up there yet? Is that look pretty good. That's where his work clothes. It's unpaid work. In Dan's award nomination, it's noted that he doesn't look for recognition. Dan simply does the things that he believes in that need to be done, and he does it well. And he did look pretty good in that blue jumpsuit. Always a supporter of youth, Dan and Quick Stop sponsor many local youth football, volleyball, and basketball teams. You can find him also with his family every June in the Omaha area golf scramble that we host as an alumni association, usually with 3 teams at Quick Stop. It is my tremendous honor to present this award to my friend and our great alum, Dan Alumni.
Well, bear with me, excuse me, I get a little nervous when I get in front of a microphone. One of the things, an old expression in our family is the only thing harder to get out of O'Neill's hand than a microphone is a chicken drumstick. Thank you very much for this award. I'm very humbled and would like to accept us on behalf of many people that have had profound influence on my life and my career. First of all, my family, my siblings PJ and Mitch that are here today, my oldest son Sean and grandchildren Ryan and Remy, my son Andrew, son Patrick, and of course my wife Judy, who I met here at Kearney State when we were both employees of cattlemen's mining companies like Sticky Dugan's. That sounds better to say we're both employees than to say I was a bartender and she was a beer maid and we hooked up. Anyway, we did hook up, and it's been almost 43 years ago. So she has certainly been my rock and my support and the love of my life. I've been very blessed and fortunate in my career and in my life. Really only have 4 main employers. First of all, my dad and mom at Sam's Market, Sumner, Nebraska. Secondly, when I was in college here, the people at Cattleman's Mining Company and Dickie Dugan's, eventually purchased by Paul and Elias Eunice. That was a great experience. You know, part of the college experience is not only going to class, but back then, almost everybody had a part-time job or worked someplace. And all those relationships with the people that we met was really important to the college experience. The third employer, the Henning family, Harvey and Tom Henning, brothers Gary and Bob and Greg. And then finally, Paul and Jackie Trumbull, the people who started Quick Stop, and really accepted our family as their own, and their promise of sweat equity was more than surpassed in allowing us to establish and grow our company. I think we've all heard the famous quote attributed to Dodgers manager Leo DeRocher, "Nice guys finish last." These 4 employers / mentors I've talked about are proof that that is simply not true. All of them demonstrated and taught me both in actions and in words that you can be passionate about your business but still be competitive. And you can still conduct your day-to-day business with honesty and integrity. Caring about your employees, giving back to your communities, possessing and practicing a personal spiritual faith are not weaknesses, they are strengths. Sometimes decisions are not based entirely on the bottom line. In our very competitive society, there are no guarantees. However, I truly believe, as in all these people that I work for, that when a company conducts business in the right manner, the bottom line tends to take care of itself. I am proud to have grown up in Sumner and graduated from Sumner Eagle Miller High School. I am proud to live and have raised my family and conducted business in North Platte, Nebraska, and West Central Nebraska. I am proud to have attended and graduated from Kearney State College, and I am very proud to be associated with this wonderful educational institution that has grown and evolved to become the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Thank you.
I would now like to invite our next recipient to the stage, Diane Smart. Diane Smart, a Coatesville native and Elba High School graduate, started her education at Central Community College before arriving on the Kearney State College campus. She jumped into her college experience here with both feet, serving on the yearbook staff and as a copy editor and reporter for the annual newspaper. She also utilized the chimes from the then newly installed bell tower to ensure she made it to class on time. I knew when I heard the 9 o'clock bell, I had to get home at 9, because I grew up 3 blocks out. Very important. She earned her public relations degree in 1988, graduating from magna cum laude. Diane resides in Highland Ranch, Colorado, and is a psycho-oncology influencer and advocate to expand access to mental health resources for those impacted by the psychological trauma of cancer. Diane is a late-stage breast cancer survivor. She is an author, speaker, former senior aerospace executive, board member, and business strategy accelerator with more than 30 years of experience positioning early-stage companies for substantial capital events. She's now the CEO and founder of Unlikely Gift Productions. She publishes a monthly blog and just launched a podcast in September. Within 3 months of completing cancer treatments, Diane seed-funded a specialty at the University of Denver called the Center for Oncology Psychology Excellence, or COPE. COPE is the first specialty in the country to offer psycho-oncology training at the graduate level. She has since helped launch a mental health therapy pilot grant program through the Ray of Hope Colorado Cancer Foundation and is a patient advisor for Blue Note Therapeutics, a prescription-based digital therapeutics company. She also wrote a multiple award-winning memoir, The Unlikely Gift of Breast Cancer, that describes how she used her business acumen to overcome cancer-related anxiety and how the process of self-discovery motivated the development of COPE. Diane was a co-founder and served on the boards of Aero Electric Aircraft Corporation and Silent Falcon UAS Technologies. She also has served on the boards of Colorado Capital Bank and Beyond Aviation, as well as Mental Health Colorado, Colorado Women's College, Community College Aurora Foundation, Colorado Freedom Memorial, Aurora Chamber of Commerce and Defense Council, and the Escuela de Guadalupe Leadership Council. She was named one of the inaugural top 100 national women in business to watch by bizwomen.com and has received numerous other recognitions. Diane and her husband Remy also have been gracious hosts for some of our alumni events in their Colorado home, and they've been very engaged with the Alumni Association conflicts as well. Diane, I'm so impressed and so glad to have you here. It's my great privilege to give this award to you.
Well, thank you so much for this honor. It's so great to be back on campus, and Chancellor Christensen, that crazy lady from Colorado, is back. I would like to thank my family, friends, my dear friend Colleen Schauer Hansen, who's here today. I'd also like to thank Trina Rother for this wonderful nomination, and of course my fantastic husband, Reedy Samard, as well. One of my favorite Bible verses is Luke chapter 12, verse 48, which says, "To whom much is given, much will be required." And that's really my takeaway from my cancer experience and the advocacy work that I do. And I have to tell you, there's two people affiliated with Kearney State, now UNK, who have had such a profound impact on my life. The first being Jim Runstrom, who's here today, and it's so great to see him after so many years. Jim was my advisor. I was a journalism student. He was chair of the journalism department in the late 80s. And so much of what he taught me I've carried with me throughout my whole career. The second individual is Dr. Charlie Bisak, and who retired this year. And I just am in awe of what all he's accomplished, what he's done for this institution, and all of the leadership here. But he also has had such a profound impact on me and the advocacy work that I do. Lastly, I'd like to share a quick story that JR, you're probably better telling this story than me. But we go back to J School, as we call it, journalism school. And I don't know that there's anyone here, but my last semester of college, I had to take the infamous photojournalism class from Bobby McKenzie. And it was one of the most difficult classes that I had throughout my college career. And so that was back in the days when you had to actually go into the dark room. In addition to taking the right photographs, go into the dark room and then develop and produce the photographs. One of my classmates, his name was Rich Headley. And Rich really struggled with the class. He was a really great sport about it. Rich actually ended up, after he graduated, he did graduate, he did pass the class. He ended up going to work for a Wyoming newspaper. And he happened to go take photographs at Cheyenne Frontier Days. And who'd have thought this, that within his first year of his career, one of the photographs he took ended up on the front page of the Wall Street Journal. So that's a fitting tribute to the amazing things that graduates accomplish here. And it's just such an honor. I'm so thrilled for the future that this institution has to serve not just the physical health needs, but the mental health needs of our great state. Thank you so much.
I would now like to invite our next recipient, Colonel Scott Thompson, to the stage. The military is in Scott Thompson's blood. As the son of a U.S. Air Force officer, he spent the first 14 years of his life as an Air Force brat, living around the world. His family retired to Bellevue, and after high school, Scott chose to attend Kearney State College. College life was pretty typical for Scott, changing majors, meeting his future wife Kathy, playing intramurals, receiving strong encouragement from his father to improve his GPA, and joining the Army ROTC. Scott's military career started in 1980 when he enlisted in the Nebraska National Guard and entered active duty soon after he graduated from Kearney State in 1983. After completing officer basic training and flight school, he served 30 years as an Army aviator, flying both the Cobra and Apache attack helicopters. He has served worldwide, stationed both in the United States and Germany, including multiple deployments for combat and peacekeeping operations. He has received numerous awards, including the Legion of Merit, Bronze Star, Air Medal, Meritorious Service Medal, Army Commendation Medal, Army Achievement Medal, Master Army Aviator Wings, Airborne Parachutist Wings, and Air Assault Badge. He also received the Athapascan Award for Excellence as an Apache Aviator and the Order of St. Michael Silver Award for his contributions to Army aviation. The now retired Army Colonel lives in Huntsville, Alabama with his wife Kathy. They have 3 sons and 3 grandchildren. Scott currently serves as the Director of Army Field Marketing with the Boeing Company and volunteers his time with the Boeing Veterans Engagement Team and at the Huntsville U.S. Veterans Memorial Museum. He serves on the Board of Directors for the local chapters of the Association of the United States Army and Vertical Flight Society, and is an active member of the American Legion and the VFW. When he has free time, he enjoys snow skiing, target shooting, and visiting historical battlefields. Scott has a degree in political science with a history minor at Florida State College, and also graduated from both the U.S. Army Command and General Staff College and the U.S. Army War College, where he earned a master's degree in strategic studies. It is my honor to present this award to Scott Thompson.
Okay, for 2 minutes. All of us make hundreds of important decisions in our life. Only a handful normally have a huge impact on our lives at that time or for the entire entity of our lives. One of my decisions was to attend Kearney State College. I come from a family, my father and mother went to UNL, my brother and sister, who are here in the audience, they went to UNL. I always was a bit of the black sheep of the family, and I decided to come here. That decision was absolutely the most important and best decision of my life. It gave me a chance to meet and have lifelong friends. Many of them are here in the audience today. It gave me a chance to find my way in life and decide what I wanted to do, and that was to be a soldier. And obviously, most importantly, I met my lifelong member, my partner, and my wife. We've been together for 40 years. Everything that's happened to me in my life after we met, all the good things and the support when bad things happened, are because of her. I was an absolute terrible student while I was here. It took me 5 painful, long years, many threats from my father, to finally get through school. My motivation in the end was I married my wife my last year in school. She had graduated. She was waiting on me. And my father, who obviously encouraged me in many different ways to graduate. And when I finally did, I went and I found what I loved to do, and that was to be a soldier in the United States Army. I did it for 30 years. They kick you out after 30 years. So I left the Army kicking and screaming. I enjoyed every minute of my time, even my all-paid expense vacations to places like Iraq and Afghanistan and Bosnia. But everything good that's happened in my life really stems from my attendance here at school. And I can't overstate what an amazing and important decision that was. I want to thank the Alumni Association. Tricia, thank you. I had lots of questions. She'll tell you, when I got the letter, I called her and I said, I think you have the wrong. She assured me that no, that they did have the right one. And luckily, this award was not about my college academic career. It was about things that had come afterward. So I'm very appreciative. I'm honored. Thank you for this great award. And my final thanks goes to my two friends back there at the back table who I know put me in for this. I really think it was just to get Kathy and I to come visit Carmen.
The Jim Runstrom Distinguished Alumni Service Award honors individuals who have given above and beyond when it comes to their efforts on behalf of the UNK Alumni Association and the UNK campus. It was named in 2008 for longtime alumni director Jim Runstrom. I'd like to welcome Jack Freeman to the stage. For Carney native Jack Freeman, accepting a bid to join a fraternity, Delta Tau Delta, was a life-changing decision. Jack didn't know it at the time, but it was a jump start to his campus involvement in his future career. With encouragement from his fraternity brothers, Jack became involved in student government, intramurals, the Antelope newspaper, mortarboard, was a resident advisor, and sang with the Nebraskats, Chorale, Collegium, and they took trips to Brazil and Australia, and professors like Martin, Zygmunt, Longo, Bauer, Sinclair, Louis Sohn, and Ford all broadened his educational experience. Following his graduation in 2004, Jack started his career with Delta Tau Delta as a chapter leadership consultant. He went on to serve as Director of Chapter Services, Vice President, and Chief Operating Officer before moving into his current role in 2018 Chief Executive Officer. While serving as President of the UNK Alumni Association's Board of Directors, Jack provided strategic leadership as the organization went through a governance restructuring and assisted with the formation of the current Overt Engagement and Alumni Development, or LEAD, Council. Jack has also served as a liaison between the UNK fraternity and sorority life leadership and the alumni. More correctly, Jack has defined this role, and it has done it at an incredibly high level. Jack is a certified association executive, is the treasurer of the North American Interfraternity Conference, serves as the Fraternity Executives Association Investment Committee chairman, is the Hoosiers for Huskers Indiana chapter of the Nebraska Alumni Association treasurer, and is the Noblesville Rotary president and Rotary District 60-65 treasurer. Jack earned a degree in general studies from UNK in 2004. He also holds a Master of Public Administration, Nonprofit Management from the Indiana University School of Public and Environmental Affairs, as well as a Certificate in Network Administration from the Ivy Tech Community College. He and his wife Larissa, also a UNK graduate, live in Noblesville, Indiana, and have 2 sons. Jack, I can't thank you enough for the loyal volunteer that you've been. You've been a great friend, you've been a great supporter of UNK through the years, and it's a great pleasure to recognize you with this honor.
Oh, thank you so much. This is not going to be easy for me. When I first got this award, I'll admit, I opened the letter. My very first impression was, I'm not old enough to win this award. Guys like Jim Runstrom and Dee Katsiopoulos and Roger Jones are old enough to win this. People like Brenda Christensen and I, we're not old enough, right? All right. But nevertheless, I'm humbled and honored to be in front of you. And since I was reminded earlier this is a luncheon and not a dinner, and y'all have places to go and work to go back to, I will be brief and just limit this to thank yous. I'm going to just thank my family, but I have 3 families that I'm going to thank. First off, to my left, my family. I've got an incredible group of people that I was fortunate enough to be born into, particularly those who are here. I will describe them. I have my oldest sister who's got a JD and is an incredible advocate in Western Nebraska for those who need it. I've got another sister who has a PhD in astrochemistry and teaches high school students. I've got a sister-in-law who's about to get her nurse practitioner degree, a mom with a PhD. My poor brother and I simply do our best not to embarrass them and family. And we're marginally successful, I would say, at best. But we've been through some things as a group, and it means a lot that y'all came from all over the place to be here, so thank you so much. My second family is at the next table, and that's my fraternity family. I have read before that you can tell a lot about a person by who they associate with, and in spite of that, I appear to have turned out quite well. Anyone who knows these three characters will agree. But I am honored and humbled that you are here. I probably have not ever told you how much you mean to me, but you know, and I appreciate that. Third, and the reason that we're here is my Loper family. That is all of you. I think this is one of the highlights of my year when I get to come back because of you all, of the family that assembles here. And really this event is important because you all are the educators, and you are the administrators, and you are the supporters that are making this place what it is. Everyone here, it doesn't matter your title, if it's chancellor or if it's Joseph down there running the camera, you all have a role to support this institution. And for those of you that don't spend your day in and day out in higher ed, I'm going to tell you all something that a lot of these folks know. Higher ed in 2022 is incredibly hard. It is incredibly difficult to be successful. And some days I know that our friends, our faculty, our administrators come in and they don't think there's a way you can win. And there are certainly a lot of ways that you can lose. And I think of what we deal with today, and I asked the chancellor, you can't win on higher campus politically. Higher ed is political football that everyone passes back and forth, and no matter what you do, someone will be upset. You certainly cannot win financially. Every year this institution is asked to do more and more with less and less, and somehow our talented group of staff and administrators find a way to make it work. You can't win public opinion. I could go on, and so I'm just going to tell you, in my opinion, there is only one way that you can win today on a campus of higher education. And that's to show up on Monday, to show up on Tuesday and Wednesday, and touch that student, maybe in the third row, the fourth row, maybe the one first generations in his or her family to go to college. Maybe that individual who has a family that doesn't speak English that came from another country, or maybe just that kid that grew up on that other side of the tracks and was kind of insecure, didn't know the gifts that he was given, and didn't realize it until people here told him that he did. Because you never know how that person might turn out, and you never know the impact that you might have. And that person 20 years later might be up here talking to you all and thanking you for that day that you went in, that Tuesday, that Wednesday, that Thursday, and you won that day. Because you won that individual, you put a seed of hope, you cultivated it through his 5 years at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. And so if you take nothing else from what I say, please just take that when you go to work on Monday, or you go to work on Tuesday, win for them, because they're there. And 20 years from now, that individual that you touch will manifest him or herself right up here, and will tell you thank you, and will make it all worthwhile. So thank you to my UNK family for taking the time that day, that week, that year to win for me. I appreciate everything that I've been given. I can't thank you all enough, although I'm going to try. And thankfully I'm young enough, I've got plenty of time to do it. But thank you so much. Thank you all for being here, and go Locust.
The Distinguished Young Alumni Award is awarded to an outstanding alum within 15 years of their graduation. Please welcome Alston Marble to the stage. Alston Marble got involved with campus life quickly as a member of the Christian Student Fellowship, going on mission trips to Mexico during spring breaks, and sharing an apartment with Louis the Loper, or maybe it was just his roommate Andy. He was also a very active member of the UNK Construction Management Organization, serving as the Secretary, Vice President, and President, and was named the 2008 Outstanding Graduate from the College of Business and Technology. His education and campus involvement positioned the Grand Island native for an internship in 2007 with Lindbeck Group in Houston, Texas. After graduating with his construction management degree in 2008, Alston accepted a full-time position as a project engineer, receiving multiple promotions, and in 2021 was promoted to vice president, senior client executive, where he provides corporate leadership for various cultural, private, K-12, nonprofit, and higher education portfolios. During his career, Alston has built several of Houston's most notable and award-winning buildings, including the Co-Cathedral of the Sacred Heart, the Cathedral of the Galveston Houston Archdiocese, Houston Museum of Natural Science, and the Rothko Chapel restoration. Alston holds leadership positions in multiple professional organizations, including the Associated General Contractors of Houston, is a member of the AGC of America Board of Governors, was named to the Consulting Constructors Council of America, and received the 2021 Limbeck Strive for Excellence Award, and serves as the Vice President of the Rice Design Alliance Board of Directors. In addition to his work, Alston has given his time to domestic and international service endeavors, including Hurricane Harvey recovery efforts and home building in Guatemala. He and his wife Danica, who is also a UNK graduate, have 4 children and are dedicated members of the Houston foster care community. Alston also holds a Master of Arts in Christian Apologetics from Biola University. It's an honor to recognize Alston Marble with this award.
Hello. Thank you very much for that introduction. As the young alumnus award winner, I'm concerned maybe I'm getting too old. 15 years, I think I'm like really close to that. So hopefully they will check my driver's license. So thank you for the introduction. Thank you to Tricia, Tony, and the Alumni Association. Appreciate all the coordination. It's great to be back. This is an honor. Looking forward to this weekend. So, as I reflected back after receiving the letter and kind of a milestone in your life and thinking about, what does this mean? What does this look like in your life? And I think of things and I had some themes that I thought about. And one of those was just thankfulness in terms of the providence of God in my life. I'm not that smart. I don't really make that good of decisions, but the Lord has blessed me, and the Lord has been providential in my life. And that was clear to me when I was thinking about through all of this, which is great. The decisions, the people I've met, the things that have gone well have all been because of Him. Even the things that haven't gone well could have been worse. And it was a blessing that they weren't as bad. So for that, I'm thankful. Secondly, reflecting back, really at the end of the day, if it's not eternal, it's fleeting. And, awards are great, titles are great, leadership positions are great, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it's all fleeting. Only the eternal is what matters. And so for that, I'm thankful for the forgiveness of sins and for the promise of eternal life, which Jesus is us. I'm thankful for it. And the third, I'm very thankful for my time at UNK. I'm thankful for the professors, Dr. Kuski, Dr. Larson. They're probably retired now, I don't know. But they were great. Appreciate those guys. Everybody's been top-notch at UNK. But mostly I'm thankful because this is where I met my wife, Danica. And she's here today. If you don't know Danica, she is class of 2009. She is here today with our 4 children. A lot of her family is here today as well. I'm very thankful they're here. My son Jack, daughter Olivia, daughter Vera, son Judah. Love you guys. So thank you all for being here today. Danica is brilliant. If you guys don't know that, she actually got a full ride to UNK here for academics. She is a rock star teacher in Houston. She is basically a better mother, a better wife though. I don't need that. She's great. She sacrifices for our family. Any success that I've had in my career is only because she allows it. She allows me to do the things I need to do at work. It's just a blessing. to me. So I'm thankful for her. The Bible says that he who finds a wife finds a good thing, and obtains favor with the Lord. And I have found that favor. I love you, Danica. Thank you. Next up this working man.
We will be recognizing our International Distinguished Alumnus Award recipient Mahavir Poon during the International Food Festival on November 13th as part of the lead up to the James E. Smith Conference on World Affairs, which is November 14th and 15th. Mahavir Poon lives in Nepal and is an educator, social entrepreneur, and activist. After completing high school, Mahavir became a teacher. Then he made his way to Kearney, where he earned a bachelor's degree. In 1992, Mahavir returned to Mayagi district in Nepal and began his efforts to connect 225 remote Himalayan villages in Nepal with wireless technology. In 2007, Mahavir was awarded the Ramon Magsaysay Award, considered to be the Nobel Prize of Asia. He was inducted into the United States Internet Hall of Fame in 2014 in recognition of his work to bring internet using wireless technology to the remote mountain communities of Nepal. He has also received multiple international awards and citations. Mahavir currently serves as the chairperson of the National Innovation Center in Nepal and is the program director for the Himachal Education Foundation based in Kearney. Both are nonprofit organizations. Mahavir received a Bachelor of Science in Physical Science Education in 1992 and a Master's of Arts in Education degree in 2001 from UNK. He also received an honorary doctorate of Humane Letters from the University of Nebraska in 2007. Congratulations to Mahavir and for all the efforts he's done to change the world, especially in Nepal.
We also want to say a quick thank you to the UNK glass-blowing students who made all of our awards for today and sharing their incredible talent with us. So if we could just have a quick hand of round of applause. In addition to the UNK Alumni Association Awards, we're delighted to welcome 4 campus departments who will also annually recognize outstanding alumni from their colleges. It's my pleasure to welcome Dr. John Petzet, a professor of music here at UNK. Dr. Petzet will present the Dr. Gary Thomas Distinguished Music Alumnus Award to Clayton Moyer.
Thank you all very much. I can attest to the aforementioned comments regarding challenges in higher education. In fact, just a personal testament here, my latest challenge of these salad onions. Is that daily gum out there? Anyways, well, this is quite an honor to talk about Mr. Clayton Moyer here. Here we go. It's my pleasure to make this award. Clayton Moyer made his way to Kearney by way of Colby Community College in Kansas, where he earned an Associate's of Arts degree. He then received his Bachelor's in Music Education K-12 and a Master's in Curriculum and Instruction Secondary from UNK. While as a student at UNK, Clayton was a member of the Choraleers, Collegium, and Delta Omicron, as well as the Symphonic Band, the Kearney Symphony Orchestra, and student government. Wow. The Lincoln, Kansas native is director of choirs at Kearney High School. Did I say that right, Lincoln? Good. He directs 6 choral ensembles, including the Kearney High School Chorale, Varsity Women's Chorus, Concert Choir, Girls Glee, and 2 show choirs, the Pops Choir and the Sapphire and Gold Singers. He is also the music director of the Kearney High Musical Theater program. Under his direction, several Kearney High choirs have been selected to sing at multiple Nebraska Music Educators Association conferences, have performed at notable venues in Spain, Belgium, France, England, Ireland, and Italy, have had the honor of singing under the direction of world-renowned choral conductors and composers, and received the Nebraska High School Music Academy Outstanding Musical Production Award. His choirs have also collaborated in concert with the University of Nebraska at Kearney Choraleers, Concordia University Nebraska Choir, the Platte River Singers, the Platte River Children's Choir, which he founded, and the Kearney Symphony Orchestra. He frequently adjudicates music contests and has directed honor choirs as a guest clinician in Nebraska and Colorado. Clayton is a member of the American Choral Directors Association, Nebraska Choral Directors Association, and the National Association for Music Education. Clayton is the founding director, there you go, of the Platte River Children's Chorale, assistant director of the Platte River Singers, past president of the Kearney Concert Association, and is the chancel choir director for the First Presbyterian Church in Kearney. When Clayton and his wife, Orlena, and their 2 sons have free time, you'll find them outdoors golfing, running, and kayaking. And before I say it's an honor to present this award to Clayton Moore, I have to tell you, when I moved up here 3 years ago, I was under duress. I'll just leave it at that. And to come to a place like this, you've got to have colleagues that can help you get through the day-to-day challenges and frustrations of the job, of which there are many. And Clayton is, he's a tremendous colleague, musician. I don't know many high school directors that are more savvy when it comes to our craft. I have been to his classroom. His students love him. They trust him. He is knowledgeable in all things choral music. And I don't know how I would be doing as well as I am without his friendship, his leadership. And so I'm just astoundingly proud to present this award to Mr. Clayton Moore.
Thank you, John. I'm incredibly honored to accept this award, and in fact, it's easily one of the highlights of my professional career. I have so many people to thank for making this possible. First, I have to thank the great colleagues and mentors that I have here at UNK, like Dr. Petzit, Dr. Campbell, Dr. Rogoff, and my mentor, Dr. Bauer, who have continued to support and encourage me even after I graduated. I'm extremely grateful for the partnership that we have fostered and continue to grow between Kearney High School and UNK and the city of Kearney. When I came to Kearney from Kansas, I fell in love with this town. And I did my student teaching at Kearney High School with Ann Bauer, and I told Ann, I want your job. And she said I had to wait until she retired. When that day came, I was so glad to come back to this city. My colleagues at Kearney High are a huge inspiration to me. Without their support and the support of the administrative team and my principal, Ms. Katie, I wouldn't have the success that I do today. To my colleagues who are teaching my classes right now, hopefully they're okay. I'm pleased to say that the commitment to music education at Kearney High School is strong. Thank you for that. Further, I want to thank my beautiful family, Hewitt and Fulton, my sons, and my wife, Orlena, who I married even though she went to Fort Hays, who have continuously supported me and my work and encouraged me to pursue all my musical ambitions. Thank you, my parents and friends who are here with me today. As I look back at my years at UNK, I confirm that the education I received here, both within the classroom walls and on the stage, prepared me to contribute to an increasingly advanced and interconnected global society. You know, they encourage people around here to join the herd. And as I reflect on my experiences in the music department, I am reminded that my UNK herd provided a safe place for me to learn, to grow, to try, and to sometimes fail, to wonder, and to create. I was fortunate to be guided by talented faculty who always shepherded me to fertile pastures. And for that, I'll always be grateful. For that, thank you, and go Lobos.
Our next award recognizes legendary chemistry professor Dr. Don Fox. Please welcome the chair of the chemistry department, Dr. Annette Mosier, as she introduces this year's Dr. Donald E. Fox Distinguished Chemistry Alumni Award recipient, Dr. Sherry Barth.
Sherry Barta credits Professor Gent, along with her honors hall residence roommate, for showing her how cool chemistry can be. It laid the groundwork for which her college and work experiences are built upon. As an undergraduate chemistry student, Sherry had the opportunity to be a teacher's assistant with Professor Kaufman, where he provided sage advice to keep whatever you do in the classroom genuine. Something that is always front and center as she works with her students at the University of Wisconsin-Madison as the chemistry department's director of undergraduate research. After receiving her chemistry degree with a minor in biology from UNK in 2002, Sherry earned her PhD in chemistry and was a postdoctoral fellow in the School of Pharmacy, both at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, Canada. Following her postdoctoral fellowship, she returned to UNK for 2 years as an assistant professor in the chemistry department. In 2011, she started in her current position at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where she advises students on research opportunities, develops research-based labs for undergraduate curriculum, and implements research skills, workshops, and courses. Sherry served as the co-director of the Chemistry Opportunities Program for 6 years and is currently the co-director of the Catalyst Program. Both are programs aimed at recruiting and supporting underserved students in the chemical sciences. She also currently serves as the assistant director of the UW-Madison Chemistry and Chemical Engineering Research Experience for Undergraduates program. In addition to her work, Sherry serves as a member, facilitator, consultant, contributor, and investigator for multiple boards, networks, and programs. In recognition of her dedication to chemistry education, Sherry received the UW-Madison Honored Instructor Award and the Early Career Award from the College of Letters and Sciences. Sherry is a graduate of Lincoln East High School. In college, she was a member of the UNK Alumni Association's Gold Torch Society, served as a Chancellor's Ambassador, was on the swim team, in the honors program, the student chapter of the American Chemical Society, served as resident assistant, and completed undergraduate research. I'm not sure how she does all that. Sherry and her husband Nick and her 3 children reside in Madison, Wisconsin, and keep busy with swim meets, music lessons, and enjoying the outdoors. This afternoon, she will be presenting her lecture, The Power of Undergraduates, Research and Beyond, at 2:30 in Copeland Hall. Please help me in honoring Dr. Sherry Barta.
Hello, everybody. I honestly will keep this brief because public speaking is not my favorite thing to do. Plus, I'm a chemist, right? So you give me parameters, stick within that 2 minutes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm extremely humbled by this award. I just would, yes, let me think the words used to describe it. Thinking back as my undergrad career, I got to go to a lot of these Fox lectures. Right? So I got to sit there while I'm having dinner. We got to dress up as undergraduate students and try to pretend like we're all fancy or not. It was a great time to kind of hobnob with the professors outside of the chemistry course, which was really, really neat. But the one thing that I remember, and this has been alluded to by a couple of the other speakers, is I remember that the Don Fox lectures were extremely distinguished, but they were also old. And I certainly don't feel either one of those. Although, if you ask many of my students, I suspect that they would probably tell you that I'm old. We don't have a Twitter account. But beyond that, I had the opportunity to teach one of the organic labs my senior year. and I got to work with Professor Donna Kaufman. And during that time, grading lab reports, I remember writing some very nondescript comments on some of the lab reports, like, great job, and maybe the students kind of really done a great job. And I remember him pulling me aside and saying, you know what, whatever you do, make sure that you're being sincere. And I've taken that to heart, and I truly think that has really guided my career, and that whatever I do, I try to be sincere with my students. So I'm very sincere in saying that UNK has really influenced every aspect of my current career. So whether that's showing support or guidance to undergraduate students, whether that is providing academic rigor, whether that is showing a respectful, inclusive environment, it is truly an honor to be a UNK grad, because that has really influenced how I view my current career. So with that, I cannot do this alone. I'd like to thank my family. They're sitting over there. I can't believe I'm getting choked up on this. What's wrong with me? But my husband Nick and my 2 daughters, Lynn and Emily. I have a 4-year-old too that couldn't be here. But my dad is here, and my mom is home with our 4-year-old. And with that, I just really thank you.
It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Tim Jarris, Dean of the College of Business and Technology. Dean Jarris will present the College of Business and Technology Distinguished Alumnus Award to Larry Peterson. Larry is unfortunately not able to be with us today, but we are honored to recognize him at this time.
First, I have to say, I know we have a tremendous amount of fantastic faculty on this campus, and I know they are here for our students, and they get to sort of on a daily basis get to interact with those students and get that intrinsic and valuable feedback that drives them, and it's huge. I wish they could see clips of it, maybe they will, clips of what I just heard today, and every year I come to this, and it just seems to get better. I'm just amazed at what our alumni accomplish. And I've seen it in other places I've been as well, but it is special here. And I tell you what, I'm very impressed with what everybody had to say today. So thank you for what you shared. I wish Larry could be here. Unfortunately, he continues to be, although he's retired, he's awfully engaged, and he's about halfway across the world right now, unfortunately. Larry earned his bachelor's degree in computer science from Kearney State College in 1979. He also has a master of science and a PhD both in computer science from Purdue University. Larry began his career in 1985 as a faculty member at the University of Arizona. He went on from the University of Arizona to Princeton in 1998. He is now an emeritus professor and still a senior research scholar. Larry served as the computer science department chair at both universities. He was also the chief technology officer for the Open Networking Foundation from 2013 to 2022. By the way, he continues to work with us in our computer science area and in cybersecurity, helping us step ahead of a lot of other universities and do things that really only he is a select scholar to do. Larry is a co-author of the best-selling networking textbook, Computer Networks, a Systems Approach, which is now in its 6th edition and is open-sourced. His research focus on the design, implementation, and deployment of internet-scale distributed systems. While in college, Larry was a member of the debate team, which he finally remembers traveling with to a tournament at Harvard. Was active in Computer Science Student Association for Computing Machinery, which is an undergrad as well. Larry is a member of the National Academy of Engineering, a fellow of ACM, and the EEE. He received the IEEE Kobayashi Computer and Communication Award and is an ACM SIGCOM Award recipient. Larry is a Kearney native, now lives in Tucson, Arizona with his wife Lynn. He was recognized in 2004 as the UNK Alumni Association Distinguished Alumni Award. It's recipient and currently serves on the Dean's Leadership Council in the College of Business and Technology. It's my honor to recognize Larry with the award, and I think he's going to join us virtually.
Hi, Larry Peterson here. I'm sorry I can't be with you, but I'd like to thank the Alumni Association for this recognition and honor. I'd also like to thank Dean Jarrett from the College of Business and Technology. He's welcomed me on the campus quite a bit recently, and it's been great to see all the new facilities, Discovery Hall, all the new hires on the faculty, and just the excitement on the program there. It was a very different time many years ago when I was a student at Kearney State College. Computer science was in the A.O. Thomas building. We had a machine room in the back with an IBM 360. We submit our punch cards and pour over the green and white output paper that we got. Very different time, but it was a great foundation, and I got a great education, learned all the basics that carried me on. I went on to grad school and then many years as a faculty at the University of Arizona in Princeton. And I'm very grateful for that time. And again, I'd like to thank the Alumni Association for this acknowledgement. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Mark Reed, Dean of the College of Education. Dean Reed will present the College of Education Distinguished Educator of the Year Award.
I just want to echo Dean Garrison's thoughts. These moments, these events are so wonderful in that we get to see the results. So often we work through the day in many of our jobs and you wonder what you got done that day. A lot of times you can check your sent email to see if you spent much of your time. But to see the accomplishments of all these wonderful alumni, just really, I wish we were in an auditorium of a couple thousand people because it's amazing. Congratulations to all of you. Well, I'm pleased to present to you our anchor leg, John Street, and he is worthy of being in the anchor leg position. He is the Distinguished Educator of the Year Award recipient. This is John Street. John Street dedicated his 39-year career to the development and administration of educational programs for students with disabilities in Grand Island and Central Nebraska. The son of U.S. military servicemen, John was born in Tachikawa, Japan, and graduated from Genoa High School. He received multiple degrees from Kearney State College, including a bachelor's in psychology, with a sociology minor in 1975. A master's in special education in 1979, a supervisor certificate, special education in 1981, and an education specialist degree, K-12 principalship in 1986. John most recently served as the Director of Special Education for ESU 10 for 6 years and spent the previous 33 years with Grand Island Public Schools and the Central Nebraska Support Service Program as a special education leader, a special education teacher, coach, consultant, program coordinator, supervisor, and as the Director of Student Services. John's professional involvement was wide-reaching, including but not limited to the Nebraska Council of School Administrators, Nebraska Association of Special Education Supervisors, Council of Special Education Administrators, Region 3 Behavioral Health Services Team, numerous Nebraska Department of Education teams, Grand Island Education Association, Nebraska State Education Association, and the National Education Association. He's also been a presenter on a variety of topics at local, state, and national events. His dedication to special education has been recognized with several honors and awards, including the National Outstanding Administrator of Special Education from the Council of Administrators of Special Education, and the Distinguished Special Education Director of the Year and Distinguished Service Award, both from the Nebraska Association of Special Education Supervisors. John has served his communities through the arc of Central Nebraska, Bethpage Mission, Heritage Teaching Association, Grand Island Athletic and Activity Booster Club, Friends of Eli, Citizen Advocacy, United Way, Elks Lodge 604,
Goodwill Industries, St. Robert's Catholic Church, and as a youth athletics coach. John worked his way through college at Cattleman's Mining Company and Dickie Dugan's Saloon and Dance Hall. Second shout out to that. Surviving the disco era. He also played intramurals and serving as a graduate assistant. John met his wife of 43 years, Colleen, at Kearney State College. They raised 2 daughters, and he has 2 granddaughters. Now that he's retired and living in Omaha, you'll likely find John spending time at his lake cabin, fishing, and traveling. Talent's nominator noted that John was dedicated to enhancing the professional growth and ultimate success of all those he supervised, not only to ensure their success, but more importantly, because he wanted all children to receive the highest quality education possible. It certainly seems he was successful in his mission. It is my pleasure to present this award to John Street.
Well, I think Dr. Reed took out my 2 minutes. So. I was up here thinking while Mark was going on, I've got a captive audience on the last person. So I either have you for the rest of the afternoon, or should I take the high road and make it quick and short? We'll take the high road. Well, certainly I'd like to thank the UNK Alumni Association and the College of Education for this distinguished award. I would not be here if it were not for the many people that have enriched my life, my family, my colleagues, my mentors. Some of those are here today. And again, I know that time is short, but I think I need to acknowledge some of these people because of what they did in my life. My daughters are here. Andrew, Kayla, my partner, Vicki Meyer, also a UNK graduate. Colleagues from Grand Island, Kathy McFarland and Patty Galbraith, and people that I didn't know that were going to just show up. Mel People, Denise Wolf, and from ESU 10, Judy Lobby, and Donna Segerson. Thank you for being here. I would be really remiss if I didn't also acknowledge my wife, Colleen, who passed in 2019. She was an outstanding educator in her own rights, and she was my support and my guidance through my career. And I don't know if I would have picked education as a career had it not been for her. My journey to Kearney State was probably an unusual one. I lived in 3 foreign countries and in 4 states before I graduated from high school. I ended up coming to Kearney because I wanted to stay close to family, and the fact that I had just moved from Germany and spent 1 year in high school in Genoa, I thought I should probably take the Brooks down, which I did. 3 degrees later and 39 years in central Nebraska has kept me grounded to this area and never regretted it. The professors that I had during my undergraduate and graduate degrees were phenomenal. People have mentioned relationships, contacts, people that they relied on, and I was fortunate to have all of those in all aspects of my life. Again, it's an honor to be here today and a privilege to be a UNK alum. Thank you.
What a wonderful group. So many accomplishments across the spectrum. We're all proud of you and how you represent our alma mater. One of the best ways to measure success at any university is look at the graduates they produce. Based on today's honorees, I think we can all agree that UNK is very successful. At the conclusion of the luncheon, in a few minutes, we would like to take a group pictures of all the recipients. So we ask that you please come to the side when we're done. Let's hear it again for all of our award recipients. All right, well, we never know what we're going to get in terms of the end of October, but it's looking like perfect football weather tomorrow. So the parade starts at 10 o'clock on the bricks in downtown Kearney. Then you're invited to join us at the Loper Brews and Brats tailgate at Loperville Coke Stadium starting at noon. We'll have fun at the tailgate until Lopers kick off against Northwest Missouri State at 2, and we hope to see you all at all of these events. A time-honored tradition to conclude the awards luncheon is the singing of the UNK alma mater. The words are on your program and on the screen. This year, our distinguished music alumnus, Clayton Moyer, accompanied by the UNK Collegium, led by Dr. John Petzet, will lead us.
Rise of grace, story rolls on.